She was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea," and I'm like, "Yeah, that is kind of cool. It's like a little surveillance thing." But then he said the camera spins along with with the device.
So he hadn't quite
So
worked all the kinks out of it yet.
yeah, so I was like, all right. Well, that is it for the current seasonal stuff. Our final thoughts. Now we're gonna go to an old show, a show that's 9 years old.
Woo!
And so the next show we're gonna be talking about is Steins Gate.
And now to prelude this as far as that goes, you're talking about this because you watched it and the second season is going to be coming out this next season.
Yes,
So you
Steins Gate
wanted to
Zero, which is apparently an alternate or alternative telling of the end. Is gonna be it's starting like maybe today. It's starting this current season. That's beginning right now. Um, so yeah, I watched this years and years and years ago, and I went back to revisit it because I really liked it, and I am absolutely glad that I did because this is a very, very good show. Unlike Kokoku, where there was a time stop story, this is a time traveling story. Um, Basically, the story is you have what is his name? Oh, Okabe Rintaro. Yeah, you have Okabe, which is he calls himself Hohohin Kyoma. So I'm gonna call him Kyoma. You have Kyoma, who is a self-proclaimed mad scientist. Uh, he basically is renting this room above a like a hardware. I'm not really I'm not really sure what it's like a mom and pop tech shop. Like they have CRT TVs because this takes place like 2010, and
Mm.
they have like other electronics in the store. They're near Akihabara, which is a basically a like a trendy electronics slash anime town. Um, and yeah, it's like he the story takes place mostly in the apartment that's above that shop. Um, he is always like acting like he's delusional, saying like the organization is after him and he's working in his lab to create these like future gadgets, and some of them are kind of interesting. Like he has this weird like kind of drone thing where it's like it's a camera at the bottom and then
Mm.
this like this tube and like it has propellers on the top. So I would assume you throw it and then it kind of like just like spins in air and it shoots video. And when the girl found it, she was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea," and I'm like, "Yeah, that is kind of cool. It's like a little surveillance thing." But then he said the camera spins along with with the device.
So he hadn't quite
So
worked all the kinks out of it yet.
yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. um, so he makes like all these weird gadgets. Some are kind of, like they're interesting in theory, but then the
Mm.
actual trying to make it practical, it doesn't work. And they had this one thing that they were working on at the beginning of the episode called a telephone microwave.
Mm.
I don't know what it was supposed to do, but what they did do with it is they put bananas in it, and the banana would turn into gel. So it'd be like a green jello banana, and it'd kind of be dripping. It's weird and nasty looking,
Yeah, that
and
doesn't sound appetizing at all.
um, they ended up going to this like basically in 2010 these characters like some of the basically the world is researching time travel.
Hmm.
There's one character, the redheaded girl. She is actually a what do you call that? Like a another word for genius, but
Prodigy?
There we go. Yes. Yeah, she is a prodigy. Her father is one of the leading scientists in that field, and she is actually smarter than him.
Mm-hmm.
He, his daughter being smarter than him really, really hurts his pride, and he like hates her for that. She just wants to get approval from her dad, so she's trying her hardest to learn as much as she can, and it's kind of counterintuitive where it's like the smarter she gets, the better she does, the more her dad hates her. But she's trying to do that so he can end up being proud with her. So there's really no way to get around that. So when Okabe goes to the little what is it, it's like a presentation or whatever that the father is doing, he ends up coming across her and he finds her stabbed in the hallway.
Ooh.
So he ends up freaking out, and he ends up sending a text to the microwave, and somehow they ends up sending a message. Like they mess with it, and they end up realizing that it kind of their microwave sends stuff into the past. It's not powerful enough to send matter to the past, because like if they try to send matter, it ends up being gel.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can send like text messages.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what he did is he sent a text message to her in the past, and she ends up avoiding getting stabbed.
Gotcha.
He runs across her again, and then he ends up taking her to the lab, and then she ends up, I can't remember exactly like how everybody like comes together, but she ends up joining the lab and becoming a new member, and they explain to her what the phone microwave does, and then she starts coming across all the weird gadgets and everything, and they end up doing some more experiments with it. Through the course of that, they end up changing the present a lot. Like some crazy things happen. Like, and it's really, really cool to kind of like follow how everything happens.
So we're definitely talking about like the butterfly effect, essentially, really.
Yes, it is straight up butterfly effect. Once they get to a certain point, they realize that one of the characters is gonna die, and they try every single variation that they can to stop it, and it's just they kind of use some theories for quantum mechanics, where it's like you know how they said that the quark, it exists everywhere at once, and when you look at it, it's in a fixed spot, but if you're not looking at it, it can be in every spot all at the same time. They kind of do that with like world lines, where it's like on this path, like on I guess there's like different fates, where it's like if you're on this line, this happens. If you're on this line, that doesn't happen, but something else does.
Yeah.
And if you're on another line, like different things like that. So they go back to that, and they end up realizing that they're on this one line and somebody's gonna die. So they're like, what can we do to change it to where this doesn't happen, because this is our friend. After trying so hard, they end up realizing that they basically have to undo everything that they've been doing this entire series to get back to the original world line. And it's a very, very good like journey, because the setting completely changes. Like, in one way, they're in this kind of moe land where it's like anime, manga, electronics, all the crazy like trendy things, and then after a certain event, it goes back to where it was like before their time. It's just an electronic city. And you kind of like the whole setting, like it built, like certain things are still in the same place, but the whole vibe of the city completely changes. And it's like, it's one show where it's like, it's really cool to see the setting change that much, and then it kind of works itself back to the present, and then more issues come up, and I'm kind of curious, like, what else are they gonna do with it? Like, when we go into Steins Gate Zero, because it was an incredible journey that I went through over the last like 3 weeks. I'm like, from the synopsis, I'm like, we kind of ended on a happy note, and with what the synopsis described is like if that didn't happen, and I'm like,
Yeah, because this talks about struggling to recover from a failed attempt at rescuing Cariso.
yeah. So they're like, what? But everything's good now. So I'm kind of curious. What do they mean? Like, is there a certain point in the series where they're gonna stop and whatever happened like that failed, and then we're gonna go on a different journey? I don't really know where they're gonna go with it. Um, Depending on how they pull it off, I'm worried that I will like dislike this second series and like feel like they shouldn't have touched it, because
Hmm.
right now that show's a 10 out of 10, and I don't see what else they could do with it. But yeah, I would say I don't know if it's available for streaming anywhere, but I know Funimation has it,
Hmm.
and it was a very, very good series. It's 26 episodes, so it's the type of show where they develop the characters a
Yeah.
lot, and because the story is it's time travel and character development. So
Hmm.
the characters have to be good because you spend that much time with them. You
Yeah.
either are really, really, really gonna love them, or you're really, really, really gonna hate them. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend this show to everybody.
The one character that had come in to rescue the other good guys coming in took one look at him, told both of her companions, "You need to run. You need to go now." Now, I have such a love-hate relationship with this anime. I really, really do. Uh, it is interesting and entertaining, and the main